Head of the Department of Library Information Science of Sambalpur University. Welcome you all to the fourth webinar on the series Alumni Knowledge Sharing, which is started by the Department of Library Information Science in collaboration with the Alumni Association. And we have successfully organized 3 webinars, and this is the fourth one in the series. And the sub-theme of this webinar is a role of library in promoting research and the use of open source software. In this webinar, we have amongst us two very prominent professionals in library information science and very good speakers. One is Sri Kumar Biswal, who is working as an assistant librarian at IIT Kharagpur, and we have Dr. Sabitri Majhi, who is working as assistant professor in the Department of Library and Information Science at Sambalpur University. Among the guests, we have the president of the Alumni Association, Sri Premraj Mishra, who is working as a senior manager in Tisco Jamshedpur. We have Miss Bharati Pati with us, and an alumni of the department, and Sri Jayant Kumar Sahu, who is the key person probably of this event, who has been constantly providing support for the technical aspects of this webinar. And all the participants who are viewing the program on the YouTube. I, on behalf of the department and on behalf of the Alumni Association, would like to extend a hearty welcome to all of you to this program. Before going to start the lectures, I would like to introduce both of our distinguished guests and alumni, and who are the speakers of today's morning. First of all, Sri Hemant Kumar Biswal. Most of you know him. He is a very popular figure in the profession. Sri Hemant Kumar Biswal studied at Sambalpur University for his masters and MPhil in the Department of Library Information Science. And after that, he went to one of the very prestigious institutes in Library Information Science, NCSI, at Indian Institute of Science, which was, and continue his course of 1.5 years of the very prestigious course, which actually been provided at NCSI, called Information and Knowledge Management course at NCSI, and he got the opportunity of working with one of the very reputed and very eminent persons in LIS field, Professor T.B. Rasekar, who unfortunately is not with us now. And he had got the opportunity to work with one of the very, very ambitious projects of Indian science information called SciGate. And he has been in various institutions of national repute, including the NIT Rourkela and NIFT, and finally he is at IIT Kharagpur working as an assistant librarian. He is a very popular trainer and very visible so far as the use of open source softwares for library automation, digitization, and other applications in the library. He is a known figure, and he has visited many of such institutions in across the country for providing training in this area. And uh, uh, so keeping the topic in mind, so he is one of the best resource persons we have today, and we're going to learn a lot from him. Our second resource person is Dr. Mrs. Sabitri Majhi, who is assistant professor working at the Department of Library Information Science. She has had her career from Utkal University, where he obtained his uh, master's in library information science, and after that, she had her MPhil as well as PhD from Sambalpur University. He obtained junior research fellowship from UGC for her PhD degree. He is an excellent teacher. He is a very she is very popular also among the students, and a very serious researcher. Um, for every class, she is well prepared, and she is very close to the students for any such reasons. She has a number of publications both in national and international journals, and she is a very active alumni uh, of the department, supporting in various activities of the alumni association. And uh, shortly, her first PhD scholar going to submit her thesis. So, with this, I welcome both of our resource persons and our alumni to this event. And now I'm not going to speak much about the topic, because the topic is very pertinent. Both of the speakers are going to speak almost in the related areas. And friends, as you know, that research is one vital uh, a vital part of any higher education institution, if you talk about, particularly for universities. And for a long time from now, the libraries were playing a central role with a offline connectivity. So it was creating a lot of problem. People say that the researchers were entering into the big libraries for searching of information, and by the time they got the information useful for their research and to go ahead, they would have lost their hair. So such a long time in searching the information for. But today the situation has changed. The emergence of information and communication technology has enabled each individual researcher to work in close association with and very prompt information retrieval systems and huge amount of research literature available on their tip of their axis. So the research is going to be has already impacted a lot with the availability of the open tools and the ICT developments. And secondly, the free library open source softwares, because the government has given a lot of stress on the use of open source softwares, because we have had a lot of issues with the proprietary softwares um, for many reasons, and therefore the government is now emphasizing and popularizing the use of open source softwares. The first implication is the reduced cost. The reduced cost is reduced to a very greatest extent if you're using this open source software. Then you can customize the software as your wish, and then you can also develop it as a developer. And you can uh, you can create a group where you actually it will help a lot for troubleshooting purposes and all that. So it has a lot of advantage. Therefore, the use of open source softwares now in libraries, and libraries is basically, because the budget cut is one such issue that every library, whether it is a national level institution or a local institution, but everywhere you will find this is a very prominent issue. So, as a remedy, as a solution to this problem, the use of open source software is one very vital thing. So, this will be discussed by Sri Hemanta Kumar Biswal. So, with this, I request Sri Premraj Mishra to speak a few words, then we will go for the presentations. Thank you.
Namaskar, respected Bulu sir, office bearers of Alumni, today's resource persons Dr. Sabitri Majhi and Mr. Hemanta Biswal, Ms. Bharati Pati, Mr. Jayanta, and all audience joined through YouTube. to convey importance of libraries. Today's topic, role of libraries in promoting research and the use of open source tools, is very important. Bulu sir has already thrown light on today's topic. Libraries and librarians have deep relationship. Similar way, our alma mater and our alumni members have deep relationship. Librarians always think about the betterment of their workplace, that is libraries, despite many difficulties. Same way, it is the responsibility of our alumni members to uplift our alma mater despite adversity. Thanks to the COVID-19 circumstances, we are connected to one another through, though it is in virtual mode. The lecture series initiative taken by our alma mater is praiseworthy. We have reached its fourth part today. This platform helps us to connect many of our senior alumni members whom we were missing from last few years. Many of our alumni members are thinking in silos that how we can contribute to the alma mater. Let me help you out. Please share your ideas through DLIS SU WhatsApp group. We are here to implement those for the betterment of our alma mater. I still remember on the day of our last alumni meet, Vice Chancellor of Sambalpur University, Professor Bera, invited us to his office and suggested few things to work upon. I want to share his expectations from our alumni for betterment of the university at large. So first thing is alumni shall give a proposal to improve the situation of Central Library of Sambalpur University. Under that, he was expecting that the Central Library, Professor B, where a Central Library should be automated and there should be a future developmental plan for the Central Library. Second is the registration of alumni under the Society Act and take lead to form a single alumni group of Sambalpur University. Third is contribution of alumni to make the university A plus grade by NAC. Training, so for that we have to we have to conduct some training program for the students of the department. And as a resource person, you can contribute in the workshop in the department. So it is the moral responsibility of our alumni members to come forward and contribute to support our alma mater, if not personally, at least virtually. So this is what I want to convey, and thank you. Over to you, Bulu sir.
Thank you, Premraj. Now we'll go for the presentations and the lectures by our invited speakers. So if you go by the proper sequence, then we'll start with Sri Hemant Kumar Biswal, providing a base for the open source software and tools, and thereafter we will go for the second presentation, that is role of library in promoting research and scholarly communication. So to begin with, Sri Hemant Kumar Biswal, please.
Hemant sir, please unmute your mic, sir. Sir, please continue.
Yeah. Namaskar and very good morning to all of you. Esteemed Professor Maharana sir, my dear friends Premraj Mishra, Dr. Sabitri Majhi, Bharatipati, and and all my alumnus on this and other viewers. It's a real privilege for me to be in this my amateur platform. I feel proud to be here to present my experience to share with you. First of all, before starting, I would like to thank Professor Maharana sir and alumni, my alma maters for giving me an opportunity for providing this platform.
Sir, voice is breaking, sir.
The voice is breaking. Okay. I would like to thank Professor Mohan sir, then all my alma maters this alumni for giving me an opportunity to share my experience and thoughts, whatever I have experienced on this open source subjects. So let me share my PPT now.
ଜୟନ୍ତ ଟିକେ ଭଏସ କ୍ଲିୟର ନା ହବାର ପୁଣି
sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Yeah. Can you see my PPT here?
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Today I'll be talking about this open source software and tools for library services. Okay. So that's my agenda will be this. I'll be talking on this. What is some introduction on open source softwares? What is open source softwares? And uh, and some of the softwares which you can use for the library services like library management systems, open source digital repository. Hello.
Hemant sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Hemant sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please close your mic. Please close your mic to your mouth, sir.
Hello.
Please continue, sir. Continue, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah, is it audible now?
Audible. Please continue, sir.
Yeah. So, I'll be talking about this some open source software that you can use for the library services for like library management system, then open source some digital repository, then content management system, discovery tools, and there are other many open source softwares are available for different services and some free resource tools. So let me start with one quote from George Bernard Shaw, which is a famous uh, playwright of Iris. He has rightly pointed out here. This is our actually knowledge sharing session is going on here. So keeping in that mind, just I have taken this quote. See, uh, if uh, uh, I have an apple, you have an apple. Okay, if we share that apple, both of we have one each apple. Okay, but if when if we have an idea and if we extend that idea and that both of you have two ideas. Okay, keeping in this this open source software also developed by group of community by exchanging their ideas. Okay, let me start with this open source software. What is open source software? I think all of you is aware of this open source software. The software this I taken from this Wikipedia. The software which is the source code is released under a license, and that allows to this you can use freely, and that can be modified and customized, and that can be redistributed uh, to the anyone for any purpose. This is open source software. So in general, we can tell that open source software is software which is freely available and that which can customize as per your needed requirement, and you can distribute for anyone for any purpose. But the open source software also released under some license. It does not need license. There are many licenses are here. So I'll be discussing in the later on that's like Apache license, GNU license, this BSD license. So here, what is open? Open source is always open. This means collaboration is open here. So anybody can collaborate with this community. This, if you want to release the software, that you can collaborate with. So you can contribute. Like, say there are many open source softwares out there. Like I will tell you one open source software for library management that which is developed by a group of community. Okay, that displays, and that you can contribute to their idea. So you will be one of the contributor. So source, and the source code is freely available, by which you can share, you can so you can customize, you can modify, and you can distribute for that one. So here you can share, and you can collaborate that one for further improvement of the open source softwares. Even you can release the other version of the open source softwares. So these are the some popular open source license, like Apache license. This is open source software license that's by Apache Software Foundation. Like this, you have the Apache, this and Tomcat, Namda. These are software, and another is GNU, General Purpose License. That this is most popular license. Most of open source softwares are GNU General Public License. Okay. Then another is BSD license, which this is mainly used. I need to get all these details. This is so. What is General Public License? So general public license is guaranteed to share and change free software to make sure the software is free to all users. Okay, this like the software you can, it's guaranteed to just you can edit, you can make use, you can share, and you can, whatever you want to do you can do. Like you can customize. That's it. You have the free hand to do everything. Okay, but you have to make sure that this software should be freely available for its users. In the same way, BSD, that is the Berkeley software distribution, and it is little bit similar with the GNU public license with some minimal restrictions. Like you have to just accept this original copyright notice only. You cannot change the copyright notice of this BSD, and that one should not claim that they have wrote the software if they have did not trial that one. Okay, and that software should not sue developers. Okay, that they should not claim that one that to others that there is some error or something like that. So that this is your purpose. This is your responsibility. You can use, you can modify, and you can just customize. You can redistribute. That is your responsibility. And another is that Apache license. This, because there are many licenses are there, that's what only I have covered only 3 licenses. This is because of this is most popular license which we use for this our mainly for the library services, and most of the library open source library management software they use these license. So Apache license is also the same thing like that. It's free software license which is given by Apache Software Foundation, which allow users to subscribe for any purpose to distribute to modify. The same again, you can just you can modify, you can redistribute, you can customize. Okay, but without concern of any royalty here. That's Apache software. That's he's just telling that you should not generate any royalty for the softwares. But in the for GNU, this general public license and the PhD license, you can use for this commercial purpose also. Yeah, let me start with some history of this open source softwares. So what happened is in 1950 and 1960, computers, softwares and compiler are delivered as a part of hardware purchase without separate fees. Previously, in before 1950 and 60, we need to pay a separate fees for the softwares. But the movement started for the open source movement in 1950 and 60. They started the software and they started the deliver the softwares with the hardwares without separate fees. At the same time, they also provide the source code, that's human readable source code, and that was mainly you can fix the box if there is any error, or you can add any new features for that one. And many of the modification in that 1950-60, many of the modification and customized started by the many of the university, and that was openly shared in keeping in the mind of academic principle of knowledge sharing. Okay, so they do not share for the commercial purpose, but they share for the academic purpose. But later on in 1970, so what IBM has done, that's it's unbundled previously, because in 1960, if any hardware manufacturer is developed, need to use that same software. Okay, but in 1970, that software and hardware has been unbundled. So any software can be working different hardware. There is no any restriction before where it was in the 1950 and 60. Then this is one who is the he coined the Richard Stallman, the former programmer of MIT Artificial Intelligence Lab. He launched the JNU project. JNU project means he initiated this open free software movement in 1980, and he coined this open source software movement. Better than this, I think all of you know this. 1990, this Linux Torvald, he developed the first kernel of the Linux operating system, which is free and open source software. There are many open source software kernels like GNU, BSD, Apache, all and all this. Then, in 1998, one open source initiative has been taken by, let's say, a community group of this NGO that to promote and protect the open source software and communities. Because last 20 years, nobody is taking care to promote to protect the open source software. So, in 1998, an open source initiative has been developed. Okay, so as already Professor Maharana sir this already told that many initiatives are taken by the government also. Here, government of India also he has taken have taken the initiative by Department of Information Technology that is named called NRCFOS, that is called National Resource Center for Free and Open Source Software. In 2005, it was set up by Government of India to promote the open source movement in India. So, how should we go for this open source softwares? Okay, so first is that the open standards. Okay, so this should be compatible with other software for any solution. It does not mean that if I just develop a software and that should not be compatible with other software. So that most of the open source software, all the open source software, they develop keeping the mind of their compatibility with the other software solution, software and the hardware. Okay, and that open, the standard is open. Like this, they taken care of the standard. Like let me give an example here. For the we go for open source software for our library management system. One example of Koha. So we use here Mark 21 standard here. So they taken care that okay, this is the standard they use for the that should be and with the keeping that mind only they develop the open source software for the space, the metadata standards. Okay, like this Dublin metadata standards, which is widely used for this. That should be interoperability. So machine can you can exchange our data and we can migrate from this software to another software. So they took this open standard, they take care of all open standards. And I think this is cost and license free. There is no cost for open source software. They won't take any royalty for this open source software. It is totally free. Totally free. So by which you can save your budget on that. Because most of the library and other information center, they test the budget launch here. That's another is that quality and reliability. This most of this according to survey, most of the proven and stable and high quality softwares. Like see just I can say I want to share with you all of you guys. Most of the this business organization also they use the open source software. So I was going through a study that 78% they are using open source softwares like MySQL and this. Many softwares are there, and many academic institutes they use open source softwares. Okay. And this independence, next one is independence. So you should not be dependent with the vendors. Okay, so that's not for manufacturing for IT service provider. We are totally independent. Okay, because for example, if you get any error, also you need to communicate to the vendor from where you have got the software. In this case, we are free from vendors. You can whatever you want, you can do yourself with these softwares. And this next is the flexibility and adaptability. So you can customize as per your institute requirement, your need and requirement, keeping in your mind that for your user needs and requirement, you can customize the softwares. But this is another important thing is this transparency. Open source software could achieve maximum transparency and trust in the software. It's the source code is open, so it's give the transparency because there is no any hidden. So these are the some disadvantage of open source softwares. This lifespan of software is very short because this, I think all of you know that software it's frequently they change the version. Okay, and some every like say Koha now every 6 months they release a new version and new features, and we have to adapt all these new features and have to always we have to up to date with the software. This is the fun the because see I might have used some software in 1 year back, and if you go to another 2 years, there may be vast changes. Just I can tell you example one here. That's when initially when I use a software called GSDL, I used to install the software first Apache, then MySQL, and this and the software individually. Okay. But later on, it is smooth. Now all the packages will bundle, but even though it can be changed now. So this is some challenges need to be this every time this new version can new features can you have to be always up to date with that one. And some software's business is in a risky at test because if some softwares are that's it goes better, they go for commercial purpose. Because and next one is the lack of coordination. Because see, this is because many people's are it is developed by many people's group of community. So it's maybe delay for addressing a box. Okay. There are still there are bugs in the many software bugs because that is it is the development of community. So that is to take care. So it's delay the addressing the bugs. And this I can tell you here this if documentation is not there, that's you cannot solve the problem. So you educate technical support. There are some softwares that are there that they don't provide the documentation. That inadequate documents are there. Okay, then obviously it's required the technical knowledge and experience. It does not mean that unless you need to be some technical knowledge. If you don't know, that's you have to acquire the knowledge. It's very easy to just anybody can acquire the knowledge. There is poor coordination between the hardware vendor and the open source community. This is because if you put software, it will develop any softwares. There are some poor coordination. And this I can give you example here, like for the RFID implementation for Koha, for this theft detection, security gate, this RFID tag and this one. It was very difficult, but fortunately it has been come out. This is some common fear factor on open source softwares. That's it's for all of us actually. We think that is it insecure? That's whenever you are just implementing any software, first we think is it insecure? This whether it is secure or insecure things. And many people they don't want to share their data. Okay, so they think that if I use open source software that maybe it is share my data and other things. Then how can it's good to say that whenever you just we feel that our human mentality we feel always that if it is free, how far it is good. If it is costly, then we think, okay, this is a very good thing. So this then we don't have the staff to handle the softwares. This is the normal situation of our Indian libraries. There are no technical staffs are there to handle the open source softwares. But we have to come up to handle the open source softwares by providing the training, and we have to learn ourselves. Okay? So these are some fear factors on open source softwares. So before the speaking of fear factors, you need to select the open source software carefully. The first is a free distribution. Okay. So that's whether this software I'm going to select, whether it is free or commercial. So whether it's require any fees or any royalty fee or anything. So most of open source software I can tell you here, it is free software with a license. Then source code. The source code must be available for customization. Okay. So that source code must be for available for customization as per media requirement. You can modify, you can add any features. Okay. Then this is most important thing for selection of open source software. So keeping in mind what is your requirement, what is your user need. You need to assess all the user need, what type of service you are going to, and what are the functionality. For example, let me just give example here, Koha. So in Koha, this library has different section like whether it supports all the modules like all the acquisition, cataloging, circulation, and all this functionality. Okay, so whether you support the OPAT, whether you support the current trends, whatever going on like RSS feed, SOPAT, the social online OPAT, all the things. And in this case, whether if you are going to build your digital repository, in that case, either suppose all type of content, either support this PDF, docs, all type of content. You have to just analyze and you have to assess all this functionality. Then standards. This is most important. Another is standards. Standards mean that whether it supports the 21 standards or the POHA library management system, whether this for the metadata standard or other metadata standards. Because library is having many type of document. See, for example, it's whether because Dublin Core metadata standards has only 15 this core elements are there. Whether I can add any additional metadata standards, yes, we can add that in this case. Like this, you can just that is called this space qualifier, and you can add other metadata standard also, like this LMS. Many are there. Then technology. So what type of technology does what type of technology does require this open source software? Whether it's platform independent, I mean platform independent, whether you can install in this Windows or Linux or only Linux. According to that, you have to just set your skill set to maintain and maintain your and manage your this softwares. This is next is the community. This is most important because open source software is developed by a larger community, and how many people they are using, and how many, and because we go for this community, how many people are using, because we go by trust that one. Okay, they are using this, may be good, so you have to make a search of that one, and by this page you can get better supports. And because if one organization they have installed this page or for anything, they can you can get support of other organization or university or institute and others. And these are the and next is the supports. Supports always help you to fix the problems. Like there are many supports are available for all the open source softwares, and there are like the menu list, group discussion, and some of the they are giving the paid support also. Okay? And this is most important to learn yourself. That is the cognition, whether decision, how to install, how to manage, how to even documentation should be there, and then licensing. Licensing means already I talked about what type of license the software is using. So these are the some open source software selection criteria you can choose for this one. Next, coming to this open source software for libraries. Why should we go for the open source software in the libraries? Yeah, the most important thing is that right first. Yes, most of the library, most of the library they are facing the budget crunch. No library is sufficient for to uh, manage and provide all the services with the project. So this I can tell you here that you can provide the services to the users and the community with all your open source softwares. Okay, so and if you go for open source softwares, there is no licensing fee, no maintenance fee. But if you go for proprietary softwares, you have to buy the softwares and you have to pay annual maintenance fee every year. They charge a huge amount. Okay, then simplify license management. So you can install in many times and many locations. But in commercial softwares, you cannot install. That depends upon the license management. So in open source software, you can install many times and many locations. Okay. So reduction of innovation. So here, innovate is open. You can you can innovate yourself. You can add some features. You can just you can after adding the features, you can share this for the community. Reliability, vast number of users and developers. As you can see, there's and most of the users they are using the softwares. It will just take survey the for any softwares. The number many numbers of users and developers are there. Then platform independent. This is another important thing. Whether this software supports for Windows or only Linux, or only Windows or only Linux. According to that, you have to be, your skills should be equal. Then supports should be there for the forum and community supports. Then you can escape from the vendor login. Like you are free from the vendor. We will not be dependent on with the vendors. So this library management system. I should just go for the library management system. Just I will be talking about this all this one library management system. Library handles some more of routine process like acquisition, cataloging, circulation, serial control, profile, and report. The other process we detect and we detect in the library, like in acquisition, we detect ordering, receiving, invoicing, processing, then this online application form. To maintain all these things, it takes a lot of times. Okay, so like this classifying, indexing materials is all that is for the cataloging section, like the circulation, learning materials to pattern and receiving them back. So you need to just manually and packing magazine and journal or holding the publish the interface for the profile. This you can go for this. These are all the process. You can go manually this one. This take lot of time. So for smooth organization and smooth delivery of the services, we should go for the library automation. We have to implement any library management system that should be open source. Then there are other systems out there like as authority they ask the reports. That's how many books, which books, how many highly issued books are there. Many times, how many the subject wise, subject wise collection they ask the reports. In this case, it's very difficult if you have manual systems. So that's to overcome all these systems that integrated library management systems assist the library in getting out of this process efficiently and effectively. So integrated library management system which help you to just to the process efficiently and effectively. Yeah, these are the some open source elements. There are n numbers of open source library management system. I think all of you are aware of some commercial uh, uh, commercial library management system like LibSys, then DLIS. That is then among this one, this I have taken this some of the open source software of the integrated library management system, which is more popular, like Kumar, which is developed by Particle Communication Private Limited, New Zealand. This is the open software. This is the general public license. So it was initially started in the 19 and launched in 2000. And the latest version of the software is 20.05. Okay, so every 6 months they release the new version of this software. This is in GNU by general public license, so you can customize, you can modify, you can share, export video department as this is general public license. And then already I told you there's another open source software is the new genre, which is developed in India, and that's this solution product limited, that is in Hyderabad. Okay, and this is also one of the open source software, the latest version of this one, 3.1.3. Then another is the ABCD, which is developed by Alumni, that's the Brazil. This is also an GNU general public license. Evergreen, another open source software, that is Georgia Public Library System developed by. This is also on general public license. Then PMB, this is also on license CCIL. This is one type of this like the similar license like GNU public license, which is in the France. So just I will be talking about this some basic features of this Koha. So Koha is already actually it is an open source integrated library management software, which you can customize your as per your user needs and requirement. So Koha was why we can say this integrated library softwares, because if anything reflect means if any activity reflect in this any modules, that will be reflect in this one. For example, if one book is processed in acquisition model, that will be reflect that in the OPA. If any book is issued by circulation counters, that will be reflect in the OPA. Okay. That means all the modules are integrated with each other. Okay, so that is. So Koha features, these are some Koha features. It supports all the modules. That's like it supports acquisition, cataloging, circulation, serial control, report. It has a very flexible reporting system. Even you can just if you know the MySQL, you can generate better report using the MySQL command, and then you can have the level printing. If your library is automated, you can generate your level, barcode, and other things. Then it's supports multiple formats, notices, and offline circulation also. If your library has the power is gone, in that case, you can have the offline circulation. Later on, you can upload that file into the circulation. Okay, so and another more another important this features of Koha is that it support the network library and multi-branch library. Okay, like this, like say, let me take an example of our Sambalpur University. Okay, Sambalpur University has there are one central library there, and there are many department libraries there. In that case, we can have a central library, and under the central library, we can again create separate branch library also that Koha supports. Like again then you can tell that this is a union catalog also. You can tell of this. You can create a union catalog also. And the most important features is that if any book is available in the life science department or math or physics department, then that will tell that okay, this book is available in the physics department. This book is available in the chemistry department. That will tell you the location. Okay. And this full text searching, it's enhanced catalog display. It's take image from the Amazon, Google, and this library, Institute library, and this for the RSS feed also. And we can use this operating system in the Linux servers, but this they recommend for the Debian, which they mainly the popular. Most of the Koha are installed in Debian operating system. Yeah, this web-based. So it's like previously have to do actually this any library management systems to use the client softwares to access the this staff client or OPAC. But Koha is totally web-based. You can access through HTTP client. That is where you can access your supply chain management system, checkout, self checkout, and other things. Okay, and it's supports Mark 21 and maybe not supports. It supports the multilingual and multi-users. Okay, so as of now, there are many languages available like Hindi, Bengali, and others. Okay, then the standard compliant, it supports the this Mark 21 and others, and this we can harvest from any from remote catalog or remote database using the department from 5G. So there's no vendor locking. There are a lot of Koha documentation out there, mailing list are there. So ISC there, the internet relay chat is there, real time relay chat. If you are getting any problem, you can contact. If you have any box, you have any finding any difficulties, uh, you can join in this mailing list. You'll get all the information there. And even that there are some support team out there. Supports paid supports are also available in India. You can get using this link, and I can tell you that this informatics India who also provide, and many are there. You can get all this link by visiting this link here. So in India there are many institute or academic institute that have implemented the Koha. And out of in 2017, in this Koha conclave, this two of our Indian library, one is the IIM Ahmedabad, that is Bikram Sarabhai Library, and another is Mysore University Library. They have awarded for the best implementation of Koha. So this is the this screenshot of this Bikram Sarabhai Library. They have implemented Koha. This is really they have customized wonderful way. And this, they have given all the information whatever made for the users. So because of this only they have awarded this award in 2017. And this is this Mysore University Library. And here you can see here about the subject collection, about the special collection they have given here. There are other things maybe that's by default. You might think that these are default customization of that. But they have customized here about the subject collection and about the special collection. And for the librarians, you can see here they have given for the link here. So if you are facing any box, so you can write a report box, and the previous blog are also available here. By visiting this site, you can see the box or the box out there, and you can contribute your idea also here. If you have just if you know any idea, so you can contribute your idea, and that you will become the contributor of this community. Then your name will be registered for the contributor. So you can contribute your custom reports. Then you can translate the Koha into language. That's our alumni should take initiative to translate Koha into our Oriya language. Still, it has been not done. So there are many blocks are happened, like this Koha reporting workflow. It is given, all the things are given here. So you can get in this Koha community. It's for the librarians. Next, coming to the for the library services, where I have already covered this library management system for the smooth function of the library, where you can manage your library collection. So library is the collection of maybe your print and digital collection. Not only it's not limited to only your print collection. Okay, library maybe collection maybe the digital library or hybrid library. So what is digital library? So I have gone many definitions are there here, but after that, just I have just defined this digital library. It is a collection of digital content in a systematic manner, which can be accessible over the network. See, the collection means there may be collection of digital content. This is the same definition of library. In the definition of library, you can say here library is the collection of books and documents. in a systematic way, and which can be issued for which can be used for issue and return. That is for the definition of library. But here, this is the collection of digital content. Digital content means we born digital, either or digitized content, whether that may be in different file format, whether that is in the Word file format, whether that is in the PDF file format, any file format. And in a systematic manner. Why I have added here systematic manner here? Because systematic manner means you should have use some metadata standards here. Because like for like integrated library management system, you use the Mark 21 standard for the describe the metadata. In the same way, here you need to describe the metadata using the standards, which will help you for your interoperability and for your migration of your data in future. So the win code using the metadata standards depend upon your type of document you can describe in that way. And that does not mean that, and that should be accessible over the network. That does not mean that you use a digital library and that is stored inside your house itself. That should be accessible to the users. That network, that may be on your intranet, and that may be over the internet. Depends upon the policy of all that things. So as we go for the digital library, yes, I think all of you know this. We should collect, store, and organize information in different form. Yes, we have to just organize information by which they can search and retrieve easily. They can search by author, they can search by keyword, they can search by subject. Because information may be here and there. So you have to collect all the information you have to put together and you have to store for the long term user. This is the first objective of this digital library. The visualize the collection of worldwide. So we can distribute our collection worldwide, because not only that it will keep our this collection, that means, for example, our faculty has published some article, if this article or thesis that can be cited by any other body. It will not be accessed outside of this one. That cannot be cited. Because nowadays this citation is most important in this of your publications. And to promote economical and efficient delivery of information. That's you can
Hemant,
sir.
Hemant,
Yes, sir.
it's half an hour, so another 5 minutes, please.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Come to
So
an end.
just yeah. So so just
Thank
I can promote your information efficiently, and this most important thing that you can participate in open access movement. That you can participate in open access movement because most of the library they participate. Okay, so these are some features of Visual Library. You can access 2027s. No need to import a library. You can access from anywhere. That's at the time of user. Multiple access. That's multiple people can access in simultaneously. Then improve access. You can even search by the full text. Then information can be shared. Then up to date information, that means you can publish up to date. And you can update information very quickly. That's an information always available. That's it has no physical guarantee and long-term preservation. This is some open source software like GSTL, Displays, ePrint. That's I'm going details this little time stuff. That GSTL developed by University of Kharagpur, then Displays is developed by MIT SP. Then University of Southampton on this February. Okay, so what is this space? This, I think all of you know that this space it is developed by MIT and SPL in 2002. And this space can be used as a digital library system or institutional digital system or digital assessment system. That's it's again open source and that easy to install. The permission is 6.3 and the beta is 7. That beta means that which is testing purpose, that is the beta. And you can install it out of box. These are some features, function of the displays that you can capture, you can describe, you can distribute, you can feature, you can access control. The most important features is that it supports all type of content, and directly they can submit. Anybody can submit directly. Doesn't mean that you need to send to the library. You can directly submit your collection to the your publication to the repository. And this you can control the collection, you can control the access. Depends upon your policy. Even you can give the embargo quickly. These are some features. Here it supports the this customize. You can customize as per your themes. It supports the two type of interface, one JSPI and XML UI. You can customize the metadata like it by default it supports the linker metadata, but you can have additional necessary you can have qualified metadata also. You can add different metadata here also. You can authenticate by IP address. It's standard compatible like for APMH, for also you can get open source URL access accounts. So you can have that remote using the APMH. Uh, this other, I'm skipping this one because there are many slides are there. So, this are the displays registry. I mean that's whenever you are installing displays, yes, I request all of you that you should register your displays in the displays registry. Okay. So in India, so far there are only 212 people that have registered in the displays space registry, and in India and worldwide they have registered only 2930. We have some screenshot. They're using the office space IPTTRSC, where I was in this. I have done this project with one of my colleagues during my career program as event. This is Sudomo. I think all of you know this one. So I'm not going to this is in IT Kharagpur, you also use the space, and in other Rautela also they use the space. And the discovery tools. See, we have all the resources, libraries, the resources of many resources, like in the catalog. We have the library management system. We have the subscribe database resources. We have the uh, digital repository. So it's very difficult to go to all the sources and search individually. To save the time of user that's discovered to has come or a single search box like Google search. And you can filter your search, okay, that you can by a single search result you can tell a library collection, and that's developed as it will recommend you that you can define by subject, author, type, materials, and more. And these are some open source uh, discovery tools. That this Explore discovery services. This is commercial, and then Exlibris commercial request data commercial. But some of the open source are Backlight, we find, and essential catalog like local. Viewfind was I will tell you this Viewfind. This Viewfind is a library resources portal designed for catalogers. You can just integrate your library catalog with a library accounts, select account. It's just not bibliography. Other library collection like resources like your e-resource subscription databases, whatever was that can be searched. Uh, This is in our NIT in IIT Kharagpur. We have implemented this course service using the Viewfind. These are some content management systems. There's open source content management system out there, like Joomla, Drupal, Python, Complete Hive, Django, CMS, OpenCMS, OpenCW. It is developed by, I think, yes, because see, this is the place where you can. This is the place where you can get to it. Because I can tell you the gateway of this information. Because there are a lot of number of information are available in the library, and so using this content management system, if you don't know any programming language, also you can build your library website using the content management system. There are many popular like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal. So I have used Joomla and Drupal. I feel this is my personal opinion. Drupal is most robust, it's more scalable in compared to other softwares. And if you know simple technology, if you know even what also you can develop your you can design your personal website or your library websites. Uh, Other than this, these are some others open source software for library like Coral, that is electronic resource management, that and then which is for the electronic resource management. Like this, you can manage your. This is challenges and most challenges for the how to manage your electronic resources. So this Coral is an open source uh, Then cops, I have used the Quora. This is very good one. So you can manage all your license agreement. You can organize all your electronic resources, and you can track your this statistic also. Then Moodle, this is the most in COVID period. This is the most useful learning management system where you can install from your organization that using this model they can develop your course and others. And you can take assignment, you can take classes and other things. This is another open journal system that uses if you are just if your library is publishing a new journal article, you can use it for your publishing your scholarly journals. Then open conference system. Many library they use the many library organize the conference members. Even university they organize the conferences. Using this conference system, you can OCS you can manage this conference system. For the past conference will be archived. They can search like filter somewhere. Who are the resource person? All this. How the papers in published. You can use this one. Then subject plus, which you can manage in-person management. That's entered out we are using the subject plus. You can get library guide here. You can subject wise you can this one. So this, other than this one, there are some tools you can promote your library service here, like Facebook. This is the most uh, very good one for your promoting your library services. You can post your event and all that. Even our alumni, the social our Facebook here, and just like Twitter. Then programs you can write the blogs here. And mainly and Jupyter, this library is not limited to only the providing the support the academic this academic curriculum. So our main objective of the library is to support the academic research. We should provide a training program. This is which is mainly and Jupyter how to this is a reference management tools. Okay. So coming to conclusion, we should build open library and this it is free from budget and free from dependency. Have an open heart. And as I would like to conclude here, in real open source, you have the right to control your own destiny. This is by Linux Player. These are some references this, I have used for my PowerPoint. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you,
Hemanta.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, due to short time, just I have covered very quickly. It's not possible to just cover all the softwares.
Yes, I know.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That is the constraint that we have. So sometime we will have in detail. But again, you have presented almost all the things relating to open source software. All kinds of software and their things. So thank you so much. Now we will move forward to the second speaker today, Dr. Sabitri Majhi. Please.
My esteemed teacher, Professor B. Maharana, President, Alumni Association, Mr. Mishra, Expert of the Day, Hemanta Mishra, Bhakti, and Jayant. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share my ideas. Let me share my screen. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it's coming up.
Sir?
Yes, visible. Enlarge your screen.
Sir.
All right.
I'll be talking about role of library in promoting research and scholarly communication in digital environment. So library play a major role in any academic institution for promoting research and scholarly communication. We know library is heart of academic institution. Quality, nature, extent of library collection, skill of library staff, active library service, all are very important. We know scholarly communication is all about the process of creation of intellectual work, its publication, dissemination, and discovery of piece of research. So, in my presentation, I'll be covering the whole process of scholarly communication, literature. The research starts with search of the literature and it ends with publication and making the publication available to the public and getting the feedback from the public. So during my presentation, I'll be presenting the whole steps of the research and scholarly communication and how libraries plays a major role in promoting these steps. So for any research, for basically first step is to select or retrieve the relevant literature. We know internet is a very unorganized source of information, and it is very difficult to select and retrieve the quality literature from the internet without knowing appropriate tools and technology. So libraries have to come forward to train the research and academic communities regarding the availability of these tools and techniques. We know there are various search engines like primary search engines, Google, Alta Vista, meta search engines like Metacrawler, Dogfile. But these search engines are common, very common. Search engines cover every subject. It covers science, social science, humanities, entertainment, every kind of document is available here. So there may be chances of confusing navigation. So for that situation, subject-specific search engines and subject-specific databases like ACM Digital Library, PubMed, Bio Archive, these are the solution. Then subject-specific search engines like Cyrus, which is stopped in 2014. This was a very popular search engine. This search engine, primary search engines cover all the web pages, but it covers only subject-specific web pages and portals. So there will be no confusing navigation here. So if I belong to science, I can retrieve the literature of science. There will be no confusing navigation. But Elsevier stopped this in the year 2014, and now the sites are is available, and it is a very encouraging. This is a very evolving search engine, and it covers computer science and information science. So libraries have to make them aware about the availability of these tools. Semantic Scholar is a very good artificial intelligence powered search tool for navigating the scientific literature. So when people of science or any researcher is searching any document, there may be a chances of confusing navigation. But here, by using this artificial intelligence powered search tool, this search engine suggests the related topics in the similar area. So better retrieval will be here, and there will be no chances of confusing navigation. So all these things must be are about the academic communities and research communities. So libraries should come forward in order to train them and educate them regarding the availability of these tools. I think library may have various collection, subscription-based collection, and the subscription-based collection may be in hundreds, in thousands, and it is time-killing process to open each and every portal one by one and searching the literature. So library may use the discovery services. It is already presented by Hemanta. So I am not going to detail to discovery services. So these discovery services must be used by the libraries so that a pre-harvested database will be created, and all the subscription-based resources, all the subscriptions which are made by the library will be available in a single platform, and users do not have to search individual web pages one by one, and it will save their time. And at the same time, open access resources must be configured with the discovery services so that library users do not have to visit separate search engine or separate interface for searching the open access resources. So a single stop shop must be provided, a single interface must be provided to the user for saving their time. So these are the different solutions. If library do not have sufficient fund, then library may go for adopting the open source softwares for providing discovery service to the users. So libraries must train these search techniques to the user community. This basic search technique must be known to all the individual. Suppose I am searching for document in biomedical engineering. So I may get the retrieval of biomedical engineering, department of biomedical engineering, school of biomedical engineering, but actually I need documents, full text or whatever document on biomedical engineering, but department. So I may combine the search with both the operator and as well as not. So I do not need department, I need biomedical engineering document proximity search. This is also a very useful search technique. This proximity search. Thomas Alva Edison. Suppose a document is written by this author, and this author may be written this document in different name in different documents. Uh, so if I will write only Thomas Edison, then then search engine may block all the documents written with Thomas Alva Edison and Thomas A. Edison. So I have to use this near operator, Thomas near Edison, so that I will get all the retrievals, all the document with the same author written differently. Um, so these kind of basic search techniques must be known to the research communities. Uh, so this wildcat search, the word computerized, they start from the same origin, compute. So I may use this wildcat search to get all the retrievals. If I need a specific file type, suppose I need PDF document on computer graphics, then I may type like this. And many times it is considered that the phrase which is appearing itself in the title of the document it considered as more relevant than other document. So I need the phrase graphics title in the title of the document, graphics design in the title of the document. So I have to like this. Then user must be aware about the case sensitiveness of the search engine. Google is not case sensitive, but Alta Vista is case sensitive. If I am writing an uppercase letter, I will get all the document with uppercase letter, and document with lowercase will be blocked for me. So these must be aware. So library have to come forward and make workshops, demonstration to train them regarding the tools and technology, so that the effective use of the resources can be made. Many institutions may not have subscription to the resources, commercial resources. So in that case, libraries must popularize these open access resources to the community. If library will take this role and will come forward, then user will get the useful resources. Otherwise, there will be ultimate loss of effort, time, and money of the institution, and there will be a question mark on efficiency of the library system, and it is ultimately a loss to the institution. Also, after literature, collection of the literature, next job of the researcher is to manage those literature using different citation management tools. So these Jotero mainly, these are very popular citation management tools. We can automatically import our citations. We can organize these citations, and we know these are an open source citation management tool, and these are commercial tools, and libraries have to train the communities regarding the usefulness of these tools. So after organizing the document and carry out your research work, the next step of scholarly communication cycle is to publish the research work. So question is where to publish the research work. There are various publishers, there are various journals, so where to publish the work. So first of all, I have to choose my journal before going to publish my work. So how to choose? So before choosing, I have to see whether the journal is having any peer review process or not. What is the quality of the publication? What is the impact factor of the journal? So in order to know all these things, I have to follow these sources. And this JCR, Simogo ranking, Scopus journalist, UGC care list. This JCR is by Clarivate. So Web of Science citation data is taken to provide JCR report, and it is not available freely. It is subscription based. So institution those do not have this JCR, they can use this Saimago journal and Contrarian. So this portal is publicly available on the web, so people can use this. This Saimago journal and Contrarian, this organizes the journal based on its discipline, as well as it organizes the journal based on the access. Oh, this open access journal, suppose I am interested to rank all the open access journal, I can choose the open option and I can get all the rank of the journal, all the rank of open access journal. And another thing is that this Saimago journal ranks the journal based on its impact factor. Rank the journal as Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 journal. Q1 journals are very popular journals, and these are subscribed by the institutions. So research community must take interest and they must emphasize to publish in Q1 journals because they will get more impact because these journals are subscribed by maximum institutions. Although it is difficult to publish in Q1 and Q2 journal, so research community must take effort to publish here. This UGC care list provides the list of journals which are accepted by UGC. Those journals having good peer review process are selected and accepted by UGC, and the community must be aware about this before going to publish the article. And the research community must be aware about this clone journal. The UGC accepted journal list is this, and with the similar name, adding some few words with the original name, few fake journals are also published. So this clone journal is there, and library must aware them regarding this clone journal. We know predatory publishers are very opportunistic and they exploit the academic need of the researcher. So we must be very much cautious before publishing, and we must know about the predatory journals. So we know primarily predatory journals' goal is to make money, and there is no or fake peer review process. They do not care the quality and work published or little editing or peer review. They may falsely claim that our journal is being indexed by EBSCO, it is indexed by Scopus, it is many other popular indexing services, it is indexed, but actually that is not true. Uh, so these are the source to see the predatory journals. Bill's list, it was maintained by Librarian Geoffrey Bill on his blog Scholarly Open Access, which is deactivated in 2017. Actually, he received some threat from the publisher and deactivated the site, and same is available now with some anonymous scholars name. So the anonymous scholars are providing the same list. This Cabell's directory also provide the fake journal list or predatory journal, but this is the subscription based. So journals listed under blacklist are all predatory journal in this Cabell's directory. Libraries must promote the researcher academic communities to publish in the open access route because all the open access literature is freely available to the public. That is why there will be more visibility and researcher will get more citation and impact of his research. So these are mainly two routes of open access publishing, like green route and gold route. In case of green route of open access publishing, an article is published in traditional subscription-based journal, but a copy is allowed to upload in the open access repository. In case of gold open access, author have to give the APC charge or article processing charge, and it is published purely in the article is published in the purely open access journal from the beginning. It is available in the public domain. So only after publishing the research, the work of the researcher is not over. So researcher have to manage the research profile and showcase his or her work to the world to get more impact from the public, as well as to make it available to the public as public money is being used to carry forward the research work. So this ORCID ID must be created by all the researchers because names are very confusing. Suppose I am an author, my name suppose Sabitri Majhi, I may write it as S Majhi, Sabitri Majhi, but individual is same, the author is same. So different ID or different identifier may be created with different name. So I must be identified with a single identifier. So if I will create an ORCID ID, then a single digital identifier will be created for me for all my names. That may be S Majhi or Sabitri Majhi. So those things must be added to the communities. The research community must be must have account with this research gate, because this is a very useful site for the researchers. They can share their publication, they can access million of publication made by people, they can connect, collaborate with their colleagues, with co-author, with specialists. They can take statistics of their work being reading by the public, being cited, being downloaded, being viewed by the public, and I can ask question about my research. I can ask for feedback of my research. So this is a very useful site. Researchers must use this. For many institutions, Scopus and Web of Science, these are not being subscribed for many institutions. So in that case, libraries must help the communities for creating the profile with this Google Scholar account. So if they will have Google Scholar account, they can find their impact of publication. It is openly available. So here, this is my profile. Here H index is 5 and 3. So what is the meaning of this 5 and 3? We library communities have to train them and make them educate. So here H index, here I am giving an example for clarity. So H index, here my H index is 5. That means age of my publication is having at least 5 or more number of citation. Age of my publication must have at least 5 or more than 5 citation. So here number of articles are there. I have written these are the citation from more to less, and fifth number article is having 6 citation. So my H index is 5. In order to make my H index 6, I have to get 6 citation for the 6th article. And here my I10 index is 3, because 3 of my publication is having at least 10 citations. So H index is 3. So those things must be aware to the community. So in order to increase the impact of publication, way to increase the impact of publication, self-archiving is essential. By showcasing and maximizing the discovery of institutional output, uh, we can have more impact because the work will be publicly available. So these are the disciplinary repositories. So this archive.org, from the beginning it was only for mathematics, computer science, and physics, and now it covers more subject, and it is a disciplinary repository, so authors can archive their resources, their publication here. And this disciplinary repository for our community, for library information science, so we can archive our publication here. Then institutional repositories are there. This is example of NIT Rourkela. The institutional repository is there, and user community can upload their resources to get maximum visibility and make it available to the public. Academic communities must know that before uploading any document to free repository or to their free site, they must know the publisher's policy and self-archiving policy. Whether publisher allowed to self-archive the document or not. If allowed, then which version is allowed? Whether publisher's version or preprint author version. Which version is allowed? So this SERPA is there, which is indexing the publisher's self-archiving policy. So authors have to aware about this. Then libraries must train the academic communities to promote the use of altmetrics, because nowadays the research institutions asking for citation data, bibliometries, but funding agency may ask for immediate impact of the research. So if I will wait for the citation data, I have to wait for a year or two. But altmetrics provide immediate feedback to my research. So citation, this is the difference between bibliometrics and altmetrics. So this bibliometrics is a citation matrix which only consider the citation to quantify, to only consider the citation to judge the quality of the resources. But altmetrics takes into consideration everything like discussions going on in the social network page, feedback, then citation, feedback, discussions, everything is taken into consideration. Number of shares, downloads, views, everything is considered to find the impact of the research. In case of bibliometries, only citation is taken into consideration to find the research impact of the journals. Posters, data set, working paper, policy document, these are not taken into consideration. And for altmetrics, it cover all the document to find its impact. And data source is limited for bibliometrics. Only Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar, these are the source. But altmetrics cover many sources, institutional repositories, many open blogs, Wikipedia. So all the social networking sites, all the repository, everything is covered by altmetrics. But the thing is that altmetrics only cover the digital document. So document having digital identifier only taken into consideration, because it is a digital way of making the matrix. So citation may take a long year to occur. So if I am interested for altmetrics, then I will get it immediately. So libraries must educate them regarding this altmetrics. So this altmetrics, I will say, this is not a replacement to bibliometrics. It is a complement to bibliometrics, and it helps people understand how research is being received and used by whom. Funding agency may want to see broader picture of the engagement. Ultimately, data on articles include views, citations, save, discussion, and recommendation. So these are different service providers or service provider of altmetrics. Public Library of Science is an open access publisher, was the first organization to routinely provide altmetrics on large number of scholarly articles published on its own publishing platform. PLOS currently provide usage data, citation, social web activity from 13 different data sources. So Impact Story is another open source website that helps researchers to explore and share the online impact of their research, and it is funded by National Science Foundation. And this altmetrics.com is a commercial one. It is a UK-based commercial service provider of altmetrics, so users must be aware about these services. So in many ways, library can be connected with the researchers. So library may rank the authors, department of specific institution based on research output. So library may rank authors. Sir, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Sir. So library can be connected in many ways. In the former presentation, Pati sir already presented the best practices made by the academic libraries. So what academic libraries are doing, they are ranking the departments and ranking the authors based on the research impact. So libraries can made the research impact, made the rank of the authors and as well as rank of the department, and may provide the details in the website, library web page, so that it will make a competitive feeling among the academic communities as well as researchers. So library can do this. Then digital revolution has changed the role of library. Skilled, active library staff can play a significant role in promoting quality research. So library must adopt strong service culture so that can help researcher in their research and scholarly communication cycle, as well as winning recognition and respect for the library across the institution. Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It is all about English.
Okay, thank you, madam, and thank you, Hemant Kumar Biswal, our first speaker. Actually, both of the speakers spoke so nicely and very extensively. Said they spoke about their respective topics. Sri Hemant Kumar Biswal, he covered almost all the things relating to open source software, starting with the history, its concept, development, advantages and disadvantages, and different features of the open source softwares, and particularly different open source softwares which are used in the libraries and their features, including the integrated library management systems, then digital library systems, reference management systems, and there are so many of them which are used in content management systems. And there are so many open source softwares used in libraries.
Hello, Premraj sir. Hello, Premraj sir, please unmute, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
I think there is network problem from Bulu
sir.
sir side. I request Jayant to continue with the questions that coming from the
Sir,
viewers.
the first question for Hemant sir. Hemant sir, please unmute your mic, sir. Please unmute your mic.
Yeah, this question from Priyanka Behera. In your opinion, which software is suitable for college library in Odisha? Yeah, I can tell you this. In my opinion, Koha is the best software for the college library in Odisha, because as college library has very limited fund, and you need some little bit technical knowledge, and even you can take this cloud service for this hosting this Koha. So Koha is the best open source software for you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, next,
Okay, you're taking up the question,
sir.
Janta?
Sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, we are in the question answer session.
Actually, okay. So I have already briefed our first speaker, Hemant Kumar Biswal, and the second speaker, Dr. Sabitri Majhi. She also spoke very well, covering the entire topic and various aspects such and the ICT tools that are activities involved in the research process itself, starting with searching of literature to publications of the research articles. So he talked about the clone journals, predatory journals, which are very important for the research scholars, because once it is published in a source which is the credibility is of question, then it creates a lot of problem. So educating the scholars relating to these issues is very important. Open access, of course, she talked about. Then unique identifiers and various research network platforms like ResearchGate and other such platforms is talked about. So overall, we had a very good discussion, and the speakers were very extensively covered the topics. So now we will go forward for taking some of the questions. I think you had already started, Jant.
Sir.
Can you hear me, Jant?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay. Jant Kumar Tripathi. He's one of our alumni working in IIM Ranchi. He has a question. Let's work together to achieve this, which will enhance the reputation of the Central Library of Sambalpur. It's a suggestion. So thank you so much. We will be actually taking your suggestions. And there is significant relationship between knowledge and his question is the university authority taking initiatives to improve the knowledge and skill of the library staff working in the library? Actually, if you I don't know whether I have the authority to answer the question, but since I'm working in the professor in charge of the library of Central Library of Sambalpur University, the university is taking a lot of initiatives for training the teachers, research scholars, and the students from time to time. Okay, so we have targeted these communities at various levels. Like we are training the teachers at the HRDC, UGC HRDC trainings to our teachers, as well as the teachers from the colleges affiliated to Sambalpur University. And for students, we time to time we conduct various training programs. We also invite resource persons, to name a few. Like we had last time, we had Pallav Pradhan from our own alumni from Inflibnet, Hemant also who is a resource person today. Like many people we invite from time to time, and then we also invite the vendors and publishers like ProQuest. Since they are we are taking subscribing ProQuest e-resources, so time to time we organize the e-resources training program for the users, and at an individual level also we are trying to actually educate them and to provide them information which is useful for them. Is there enough budget allocated to procurement of the resources for all departments? Earlier, there was budget, of course, budget crunch is there everywhere. And of course, we are also facing the same problem. Budget is never enough that we can say. But compared to the previous budgetary provisions now the budget has increased because of the RUSA, particularly the RUSA funding. We are getting funds from the World Bank and various other sources, and we are getting library funds for e-resources, e-books, and so that way we have some funds available for e-resources, and already we are having online books from Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, and as a consortium we are having access to the ProQuest e-resources, and also as a member of the e-source Sindhu consortium from InflibNet, we have access to a number of e-resources from them. Is there any plan for automation? Yes, of course, we are having automation plans. Actually, the initiative has started to automate the library using this old software, but because of some administrative, some problems there, now we are trying to go for open source software, and the proposal is on, and we are working for this Koha library automation software to go for, and it is in the proposal stage, and I hope this will be taken up very soon. Okay, and digital repositories, all these things. Yes, this also we are actually working out these lines, and we are trying to make as much as it is possible within the.
We have access to EBSCO, sir. EBSCO we access.
Yes.
And
so we are trying it for giving access to our people as much as we can. Library website, of course, we are not having at present, but we are having certain links. Whatever resources we are having links to those resources from the library, the institution website itself, and it is now it is in the pipeline. We are coming up with some new services using this tools. Is there university has an information literacy program to educate? Of course, I have already explained how we are going for it, and we have been doing it, and we keep on doing it. Is the Odisha government thinking about upgrading the pay scale of this? I think I'm not authorized, and I'm not having that information to talk about this. So, any other question? Okay. So, is there any questions? So, thank you, John, for the pertinent questions that we have raised. Any other questions for this?
No question.
Okay. Okay. And both of our speakers, they are not only available for this 1 hour session that we are having today. I'm so much thankful to them on behalf of the department and the alumni as a whole, because they are always standing support for the so at a short call notice, on a phone call, they are ready to come up for any kind of events like this. So we can catch hold of them in future anytime we wish. So you will have questions then, and if people are visiting the site, please post your questions. Even not now, in future, when you see this video, you post your questions, and we will request our speakers to answer the questions online from YouTube. Now we'll move forward. I'll request Bharati Pati, Ms. Bharati Pati, one of our alumni, to propose a formal vote of thanks for winding up this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes. Please. Yes.
Okay. So, respected Professor Maharana, sir, the head of the department, esteemed panel of experts, Dr. Sabitri Majhi, Shri Hemanta Kumar Biswal, the President of the Alumni Association, Shri Premraj Mishra, Jayanta, and all the viewers and participants for this session. I, on behalf of the department and the Alumni Association, extend my heartiest regards and heartiest gratitude towards all of you to be a part of it. in this series of Knowledge Express, we are trying our best to invite all our alumni, almost many of our alumni, to express their views, to share their knowledge and expertise. So I, on behalf of the department and the Alumni Association, extend my heartiest regards to, first of all, to Professor Maharana, our own HOD, Bulu sir, for actually initiating this initiative. This is very much resourceful for all of us. Secondly, I extend my gratitude towards Shri Mishra, Premraj Mishra, the president of the Alumni Association, who is coordinating and cooperating with all of us to continue this legacy through generations. Again, I congratulate Sri Hemanta Kumar Biswal, all the way from IIT Kharagpur. Always he is the person who is contributing through his knowledge and expertise to the department. Always he is needed in the department. He is contributing through his knowledge. I extend my gratitude towards Dr. Sabitri Majhi for coordinating, for cooperating in the department, and for today's sessions also. And I also show my gratitude towards Sri Jayanta Sahu. Actually, his untiring efforts are the results of this sessions. All the time he is involved in these technical sessions, and he is cooperating through his efforts. And he is actually an unthankable person, I would say. And last but not the least, I would thank all the participants, all the viewers. Without your support, this would not have been possible. We are running the fourth version of this series, and hopefully we will again be able to continue this legacy of this Knowledge Express. And I will expect this kind of cooperation all the way, all the time. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Jayant is not unthinkable. Jayant is hugely thanked. And I acknowledge, and everybody acknowledge that Jayant Kumar Sahu is, can we see his face? Jayant, he is a research scholar of the department, ladies and gentlemen, and he is actually behind the technical support of this webinars, and his work starts every day, every day, and he keep on doing, starting from designing the programs and doing everything. So I, on behalf of the department and the alumni, he is also an alumni of the department. I thank him for his support. I know that he is doing an untiring work and support for this. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.